Real quick, before we get first in football, my main man Baker Mayfield still down in Tampa Bay. Maybe that means he's staying with the Buccaneers. But he went to New York Yankee spring training and got some wax in the cage. Nice sweet swing, nice and compact. Line drive hitter, but lefty. Dude's a righty quarterback, but bats lefty. Who knew?
How do you do that?
Goes both ways.
Oh, no.
There you go.
Well, he's good doing it, though.
So I was talking with Aaron Boone about it. And I was talking with Aaron Boone about it. All right? Aaron Boone is a dear friend of mine. The manager of the New York Yankees is also a diehard Eagles fan.
Oh, is he?
Yes, he is. Because he grew up a lot of his life as a kid because his dad played ball in Philly. Grew up a Philadelphia Phillies fan, so I sent him a text. And I said, did you tell Baker you're an Eagle fan? He goes, I told him I was an Eagle fan, and I also told him the reason I didn't go down to the playoff game is I knew the Eagles were going to lose. That's BS, Aaron Boone, because you told me the Eagles were going to the Super Bowl, and now he's denying it.
Well.
So there you go. Aaron Boone and I in constant contact during the show. And they do have our show on in the Yankee clubhouse.
Let's go, boys.
So there you go on that. If we booked guests, we'd probably have Aaron on the show, but we don't like to do that. All right, from that.
Don't need him.
Meanwhile, the New York Mets saw him taking batting practice and signed him. In any event, here's First in Football.
Moving on to First in Football, the rumors about the Giants are getting louder and louder, and they are interested, potentially, in Michigan championship quarterback J.J. McCarthy. What do you think of McCarthy to the Giants at number 6?
I think it's a major mistake for the New York Giants. No disrespect to J.J. McCarthy, who by all accounts has worked himself up to a late first-round pick, maybe even a little bit higher because of some of the, workouts he's had. And, of course, Michigan winning the national title didn't hurt either. But it's a terrible mistake for the New York Giants. They made that mistake 2 years ago when they signed Daniel Jones, to this big contract. And they made that mistake when they drafted Daniel Jones, when nobody had Daniel Jones on their radar as a first-round draft pick. If Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll go out there and get J.J. McCarthy, we know there's blood in the water right now on the future of Daniel Jones in New York, so that's not a secret. But, man, you've got so many other positions that you've got to fill before you worry about, where my quarterback is. And, again, no disrespect to J.J. McCarthy. Nobody thinks that J.J. McCarthy is one of the 5 best quarterbacks in this draft class. So by default, you are talking about a work in progress to develop him into becoming a decent NFL quarterback, but certainly not a franchise quarterback as we stand here today. The New York Giants let Saquon Barkley walk out the door, assuming he does. Theoretically, they could re-sign him, obviously. Xavier McKinney is one of their 2 or 3 best defensive players. He's going to walk right out the door. And I'm looking at this organization. And Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll had a great first year because they did something nobody expected. They made the playoffs. And then they won a road playoff game against Minnesota. And then it all went to pot last year, of course. And they kind of did their first 2 years in reverse. Year 1's supposed to stink and be the rebuilding year. Year 2's supposed to be, can we get into the playoffs? And then year 3 is, can we compete for a title? They effed it up because they went backwards on it. And when you look at the Giants now, I think you're talking about 2 guys who are on very thin ice when it comes to their future with the Giants. And that's the head coach and that's the general manager. But to answer your original question, J.J. McCarthy is going to be drafted. If not in the first round, he'll be the first quarterback taken in the second round, and will have an opportunity for an NFL career. But when you're the New York Giants, if you're not picking first, second, or third, and you don't have a choice of getting what we all would agree, franchise quarterback, then go get the best football player that's available when you draft. Period. Stop.
No, listen, at the bottom line, the Giants are picking 6, right? If I'm then, I'm trading down so I can get more draft capital.
Sure.
Because if you're talking about the needs, they need a pass rusher, right? They need offensive line help. They need a running back.
And stop right there. If everyone agrees, guys that do this for a living, like, we're just opinion guys, right? I don't, break down the mechanics and all that crap of quarterbacks. It's not my expertise. But I do respect the guys that do it. And I've never seen JJ McCarthy's name on a top 5 list.
I'm not a draft expert either, but I watch Michigan football games. I see Blake Corum.
I see
Blake Corum running the ball. Right. And I don't see JJ McCarthy putting a team on his back driving down the field.
He did it during the championship run. He had a couple big plays where he actually.
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But you made the point. You picked 6. The Giants are 6, right?
Yeah.
So do the Giants have the capital to get up to 2?
No.
I don't think they do.
I mean,
because other teams would also want to get to number 2. New England might try to trade to get up to number 2. Washington might want to trade to get up to, right, et cetera, et cetera. So if I'm the New York Giants, I like what you said. I'll trade down.
Yes.
Maybe
because he may beat it.
Maybe steal another 3rd-round pick from somebody. Because here's the reality. JJ McCarthy is not going 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
No. Another thing is they're going to be drafting high next year, too. There's nothing about what they've done this offseason that says we're making a run.
But they have, to your point, you make a good point, they have a chance to not only get a stud tackle in the draft, but also get Jonah Jackson out of Detroit, who's in the top guard. So now you really kind of clogged some holes.
I do have to do my job here and put out one caveat to this, if I may.
Yeah.
The caveat is this. For the last couple decades, there has been a consultant to the Mara family, the owners of the New York Giants, and the Tisch family, the co-owners of the Giants, and this guy's in their ear and makes recommendations to them all the time. That's how Brian Dable got the job.
Is he still in there?
To be the head coach. This guy is currently enjoying a little self-reflection time.
He's going fishing.
All right? Do not think for 1 minute that Bill Belichick is not involved in the Giants' decision-making on who they draft. So to go back to McCarthy, you might remember 20 years ago when the New England Patriots took a flyer in the 6th round on a quarterback from what school? Michigan.
Yeah.
Right? Do not be shocked if at some point the Giants make a play for him, because when Dable and Shane get fired after this year, and they're going to be, if this is the same train wreck it was last year, I'm telling you this is fact. I'm going to look, which calendar I'm looking? That one?
Yeah.
Get it on me. All right? My baldness. Get it on me, right?
Look great.
All right.
Handsome.
Here's the deal. Bill Belichick will be the new head coach and general manager and president and team owner of the New York Giants.
Oh, that guy.
That guy right there.
That guy, I don't think
that
so.
That guy right there. Don't harpoon him now.
First of all,
that guy
hotel guest only.
Okay?
Look at that.
Yeah, so I'm just putting it out there now. It's one of those things, put it in the filing cabinet.
Yeah.
But when it goes south, and it will go south because the Giants have no talent, that guy right there will be the next head coach of the New York Giants, and that is a lock.
Boy,
Sounds
Craig.
good.
There you
Moving
go.
on to second and football. You spent all day yesterday trashing my guy, Sean McDermott. Well, guess what? Someone asked him what it's like and is the confidence level of being Josh Allen's head coach. And here's what he had to say, and I quote, "I'm confident in who I am as Josh's coach. I know how to develop players. I'm confident in that, extremely confident. Josh is going to develop the best he can, and that we're going to maximize Josh's potential." Interesting. McDermott has been there for Allen's entire career. Why do you think this is being called into question?
Because he understands what's happening. The fire sale that's happening in Buffalo right now, he's not stupid. He knows he's being set up to be the scapegoat here, which is what I said yesterday. Look, Josh Allen is realizing his potential. He's a great quarterback. By all accounts, the top 3 quarterback, certainly top 5. We're not going to argue it, obviously. So he's already at the pinnacle of his professional career, Josh Allen. And guess what? You haven't won with him. So at some point, that's going to get old in Buffalo. And when you take stock of the fact that they're having this fire sale to get under the cap, and there's no real talent on that team anymore on the defensive side of the ball, and on offense, you have what? You've got now a 30-year-old Stephon Diggs. You've got a young slot receiver who no one knows about, and you've got a stud tight end and a running back that emerged late in the year when they changed your offensive coordinator. But how about this if you're Sean McDermott? For the last 5 years, you have had, worst case, top 10 in the last couple of years, top 5 quarterback play out of Josh Allen. How many Super Bowls have you been to?
None.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's not.
A couple things I want to say. Number one, say there's no talent on the defensive side of the ball is just incorrect. Okay, they've got a lot of players.
Name one Pro Bowler coming back on the Buffalo Bills next year.
Russo.
Matt Milano.
Injured.
Right.
Injured.
But you can't control that.
Injured.
But to say that you're not to get the best out of Josh Allen, I think we saw it towards the end of the season. The bottom line is now that you have a run game to complement him, and now you got Stephon Diggs. Now, however you replace Gabe Davis, that's another issue, right? But you got two stud tight ends along the way. My thing with Josh Allen is right now you got to understand there's one guy you got to beat. And that's Patrick Mahomes, right? And if you're Sean McDermott, you're in that same boat with Josh Allen. You got to defeat Andy Reid.
I got to stop you there because that's not the case this year. Yeah, you got to beat Patrick Mahomes. Everyone's chasing Patrick Mahomes.
Don't do it.
He's got to get out of his own division first.
Come on.
No,
Like if you're
Craig.
Josh, I'm telling you.
Who in the division right now?
I don't know. Maybe someone named Aaron Rodgers.
Who's 40 years old, coming off an injury? He can't even play in the cold. He doesn't exist. He's the king of the AFC East.
You had your shot. You had a 4-year reign of terror on the AFC East, and what did you do with it? Nothing.
Okay.
Ugats.
It
and
took
now,
Andy Reid 7 seasons to win a Super Bowl in Kansas City.
I don't care about all that.
But my point, it still takes time.
Of course it takes time. He's running out of time. They are not winning the division this year because the Jets are, number one. We went through that yesterday.
I mean, you said
quite eloquently, I think.
Right.
And number two, there's no talent in Buffalo.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not
I feel
true.
terrible for
There's
the
a
people.
Bulls full of people we
I
can
can't
talk
wait for the
about.
Jets to play the Bills.
Neither can I. Neither can I.
Moving on
Let's
to
get it
Thursday
on.
football. There's more reasons for concerns if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Why?
I have some bad news.
What is
if
it?
you're an Eagles fan?
Nick Sirianni's coming back?
Look at their quarterback, Jaylen Herz, without a goatee. Has a goatee ever done more for someone's face than Jaylen Herz goatee?
Man.
Which one's Jalen Herz?
He's in the middle.
Oh, I thought he was the little girl on the right.
No,
I'm sorry.
what happened?
Talk about Jalen
I'll
Hurts
tell you
like
what,
that.
it's called identity crisis, is what it is.
This is bad.
How, Craig? Because you decided to shave? I mean, to be honest, that's what losing to Tampa in the playoffs do to you. It make you
He
star
looks
over.
like John Starks.
Yeah. I wish he was in the locker room. That would be woo. Oh, woo.
What is he doing?
Well, he wants a fresh start, right?
Yeah.
And part of having a fresh start, like when you go through a midlife crisis, what do? You get blonde hair, you buy a Corvette.
This
is kind of what football players
To
do
be fair,
now.
I bought a Camaro.
I really thought that Jalen Hurts was the most handsome quarterback in the league. And also, this makes me feel like he has no friends. Because if I'm Jalen Hurts' friend, I'm not letting him hear the end of this. That goatee is back as soon as possible.
Well, if I may,
Look at him.
Maybe there's a good reason he has no friends.
I can't believe
Okay,
it.
you know. Well,
I'm just wondering whose girl is that? I'm just asking. Like,
Cutie.
I'm not sure.
Pretty woman.
I'm not saying that.
You know we like to get it out before the 8 o'clock hour. We like to get it all out. We like to flush it all out. You know what we're trying to do here.
I got you. Warming up here.
Yeah.
Hey there, thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.